Dang, car looks good sitting there. What's going on, everybody? We are here at NCM for the SCCA TT Nationals. Let's see. So first and foremost, pit crew is here. This is my first time ever being here. Pretty much everybody says it's a hard track to learn because there's 23 turns and they're all a little different or something. I don't have any simulator stuff, so I kind of just watch a bunch of YouTube videos. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. As far as the car is concerned, no real performance stuff. Made myself a pretty sweet steering wheel. Aside from that, I'll put a picture up here. I made myself some vertical links on my mill. So got rid of the factory ones with the rubber bushings, and then also double checking the rules. I was able to remove a few more things from the car. I don't know, 20 pounds tops. So yeah, should be a fun weekend. We'll kind of see what we do. I think there's 13 cars in Max 2. Honestly, no idea where I'll end up. One thing that's cool already, bunch of Mustangs here. Mustang, Steve and his guys are there. Terry's behind me, just met Ryan. He's got a GT350. So that's kind of cool, that many Mustangs at this event. I think gonna go get teched and everything, and then tomorrow morning we're running. All right, guys, so first, well, and only practice session is done. Very interesting track, a lot of turns on this thing. Did a whopping 218 something. But what's cool is that gives me my first data points. So already got data up on the screen. So now with more laps, you know, I can kind of start picking apart stuff. Going over, I took a whole bunch of like track notes. Oh, there you go. From other people's videos I found online. My corner speeds are way down, obviously. First time ever here at speed. But something as simple as this, where it's like right here, whatever turn this is. Oh, that's the other thing to note. They use right around turn 14 to start finish for whatever reason. So if you're familiar with this track, start finish is back here. It's not on the front straight, which would normally be like here-ish. But even the second lap, by right around there, I was up, you know, almost a second, you know. So, but yeah, it was funny when we were in like the little cool down area. Some guy came up to me. He said he watches my videos, so I apologize for not remembering your name, in a BMW, and I could just tell he knew the track, so I let him go. And I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna try and stick with him, and he just kind of left me in the dust. Hey, baby. But that's really about it. Car felt all right. So I'm not gonna change anything because I'm still just learning, and we'll see what we can get. Next session is our first time session, so I'll bring you along with that one. Alright guys, so first time session is done. Unfortunately, I didn't go as much quicker as I was hoping. Only about half second, not even quite a half second. So I'm already diving into data. It's like a bit of a mess, but lime green was this morning, blue was my new better time, but it's like you can see how I'm like up, down, up, down. It got hot out pretty quick. The car, now that I'm pushing a little bit harder, it's really pushing really bad. There's not many options I have to make it not push. So I got a couple ideas, things to change. You know, just kind of keep plugging away at it. Alright guys, so final session of day one is over. Ended up doing a 15.5 from a 18.3. So what's that? Almost 3 seconds. Now, the only thing I changed in the car, I went from 0 toe to about an 1/8 toe out in the front. That's it. So I know there's a bunch of theories out there about suspension, or I'm sorry, alignment settings that people like. Put me in the camp of a little bit of front toe out. Keep in mind, I am on solid bushings all around. I know factory, I think it's like a little bit of toe in, but under the rolling resistance or especially braking, that rubber bushing, you'll end up with like 0 toe or toe out, you know what I mean? So put me in the toe out camp for what it's worth. That puts me pretty solidly in 4th overall in Max 2. Okay with that. Would like to get on the podium. I think I need another 1.5 seconds or something to get on the podium. But looking over data, for example, so this is turn 16. The real fast right-hander in the back of the track. In case you're not familiar with the track, this one way back here. So you can see purple was last session. Doing 80, a little under 80 miles an hour. Now I'm pushing 87-ish or so. So you can see how I'm sneaking up on that fast turn. A lot of the slower stuff, the car definitely felt better through a lot of it. It allowed me kind of get a little bit of a better drive out, so I got a little higher top end. I'm carrying more through here into turn. This is real turn 1 right here. So start finish is right around here. So turn 1A, 1B. So carrying more through there. Back straight, and then here's turn 5. Kind of just like turn 16. Turn 5, You can see, I don't know, I picked up over 5 mile an hour through it, just kind of a confidence corner type thing, and again, just like little bits kind of here and there and everywhere. So as I get like more laps, I can kind of put together some pieces and everything. I'm getting there. I believe first in class at the moment is like a 210 something, so still quite a bit off of him, but you know, first time here, still learning, tweaking the car, getting there. All things considered, happy with where I'm at. Tomorrow is a new day. I'm gonna make a few more changes on the car, kind of see what we get. All right, guys, it is Friday morning. I didn't bring you along with me first session. Let's see, how do I want to explain this? So after yesterday, my 15.5 was good enough to bump me up into Group 1. I didn't find out I was in Group 1 until after the driver's meeting, and Group 1 is first class, first group out. If you remember yesterday, I was messing with the toe on the front of the car, and when I went from 0 toe to an 8th toe out, car felt much, much better. So yesterday after the last session, I went just a touch more on the toe, but we had to go to, what was it called, Expo or something, where they make all the competitors kind of go to one area and park their cars, almost like a little car show almost. So I didn't get a chance to check it. This morning I was going to check it and adjusted all that stuff, but being first session out, I check it real quick, and I was at a 1/4 toe out, which is kind of a lot. So I adjusted it real quick, only did a 1/4 turn on the tie rod end, put the car back down, put my gear on, and went out. Measure it when I come back in, and I'm back to like 0 toe. The car felt like crap this morning, so kind of wasted the nice cool weather session. Did a 16.2, so I was like 0.6 off of yesterday. So just readjusted it. If I want to get like ultra technical, I don't know, I'm like a 32nd past 1/8 inch toe out, so a little bit more than yesterday. That's really the only change I can do on this thing, how it sits at the moment. Mess with kind of alignment settings. So anyways, so next session's in a little bit. We'll see what we can do in that one. Alright guys, just finished that session and got back into a 15.5, which is what I did yesterday, within less than a tenth of yesterday's time. So, no real changes to the car. I tried a few things that session. Already went over my data. And, you know, kind of picked apart some of the areas where it's like I was quicker than yesterday, but kind of lost some, whatever. So hopefully I can kind of string something together. It'll be our last time today. I'm still currently sitting in fourth. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. All right, guys, so third session today is done. So that's like part one of the entire, I think they're calling it time attack session 1 or whatever. Yeah, a little bit annoyed at myself because I didn't go faster again when I know I could have. First hot lap, I blew it into turn 1. Now, I carried my minimum speed through turn 5 was like 104. So I carried more speed than a turn 6 than I have yet. So I broke at my normal point, but ended up going like too long, almost went off track. Lost a bunch of time there. Then I did a cool lap on my second hot lap, going up through Faux Rouge, 16. Everything was looking good. Went through there quicker than I have. 17, cooked it into 17, and then blew that lap. So a little bit annoying. So I did a 15.9 and a 16.4. So again, it's like I'm getting faster. So like those sessions were, let's see, that dark green is where I blew it in turn 17. The one good lap I had, but then you can see how far off I was there in turn 6. So I kind of need to, what's kind of cool, carrying, remember I said my minimum speed, if I do a delta from kind of like turn in point to, we'll say where everything like crosses over, about 1.2 seconds right through there. So it's like, car has it, I just haven't put a lap together yet, and that's what's kind of annoying me a little bit. Unfortunately, the car, the push, it's like I can't really do too much with what I have, the options I have available to me. So tomorrow we're on like east and west course doing some weird things, and those times get added to our total time. And then Sunday back on the big track, and you know, maybe I'll kind of figure something out by then. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. All right, guys, so I'm gonna try something I've never tried before. I've heard of people doing it. I'm going to move, see the car's pushing really bad. So I'm gonna soften the front bar, but I'm only gonna soften it one hole on one side. Reason being, I already went through 2 scuff plates on that corner. So I don't really want the front to be like too much softer or roll too much more. But I definitely need a little bit more weight transfer to the front while turning. So with our, I made myself a set of these adjustable sway bar end links. We're probably going to be coming out with something pretty soon, but you can see I'm just going to go back one hole there, and then put it back on the ground, kind of reach behind the tire and make sure that sway bar, make sure the end link is kind of like zeroed out. I don't want any like preload on it or anything. And kind of see what we got going on. I guess tomorrow will kind of be, you know, my chance to see if it worked or not. I could always go back to full stiff. If it actually feels better, maybe go softer on the other side as well. Might not hurt, so we'll kind of see. If the car ends up rolling too much, I can raise the car with our spring perches here. But yeah, kind of trying to get this thing to turn in is a little bit tricky. Other option I'll do when I get home, I'm probably going to go up another 100 pounds on rear springs, but I obviously don't have them, so that's not an option today. Alright, so we are currently on track in the truck. They said everybody who wants to come drive around the track, help dry it off, so that's what we're doing. Oh my God. So I got the pit crew with me. I think she shows up in the mirror. She's gonna be the fastest baby around NCM ever. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Look at them all. It's just like a parade of cars the whole way. That's funny. Alright, so we're not even one lap in. Baby fell asleep driving around the track. Alright guys, so I did go out in that session. We were first session out, and as you can see, like, it's still half damp, half dry. All those vehicles going around, they're like, the racing line was dry-ish. Only did an 18 something. Obviously wasn't expecting a best lap, but there were enough dry spots I was able to push where the front of the car did feel better at turn in. Now if you remember, the only change I made was softening up the front sway bar just one hole. I think that's enough to convince me I'm just going to go to the softer hole on both sides, and then we got tomorrow's sessions. After that, I'm kind of about out of ideas to get the front of this thing to turn in a little bit better than it is. So yeah, we're gonna make that adjustment, and hopefully by this afternoon session, enough cars are going around that, you know, the dry line will, you know, kind of widen up a little bit. I'm sure there's still gonna be some wetness on like the curbs. You know, the rumble strips always have like water sitting on them. But yeah, that's kind of about it for now. All right guys, so what do you know, another 15, did a 15.7 on that one. I was already diving into data. The car feels a little bit better. I tinkered a little bit with tire pressures. You know, I usually like doing one change at a time, but with the rain today and an on-track incident, we pretty much had a 3-lap run at the end of the day, and that's it, you know. So if we jump into data a little bit, orange is still my best so far, and that was done on the Thursday, oddly enough. Red was very close, done Friday. I'm keeping the green line up here because that's my fastest return 5. Was able to maintain triple digits the whole way. The rest of them I'm dipping just a little bit. I'm still over braking for that one. The green one, you can see I carried more speed in, went in hot, so that's kind of what ruined that whole lap. But the 15.7 that I just did is the blue. There's a few takeaways. Looking at this, I kind of can't really see too much, but if we go to a split report, so this green sector after 7 is my best going through there at 18.7. And if we bring up the green sector, that's all this like twisty bits right here, which if we bring up the GPS, entering turn 6 around through to end of that sector through 7, 8, and like 9. So that's like a real slow section, and put up my best sector time there. The track today, I don't think anybody set a better lap that session, so I guess I can't be too mad. So I'm unsure if it's one of those situations where it's like, am I chasing tires? Am I chasing the track or something? So it's like I'm kind of doing a bunch of 15.5s as like certain other things are kind of like falling away from the car. I was really expecting a little bit faster, but again, never having been here, it's like I have no reference. So I'm still sitting 4th in class. I mean, that's really about it. I don't think I'm going to really make too many changes at this point. I just got to kind of drive the car, and that's about it. right, guys, so there you go. Went a little bit faster. Still not that 14, but a 15.2 something. Can't really complain about that. I've been looking at data. So red is my 15.5 from Thursday, I think it was. Green was this morning my 15.3. Blue is my 15.2. You can see I'm a little bit higher. Turn 5 carried more speed than I ever have. This is turn 16, kind of the same thing. 16 and 5, I think, is where it just kind of takes a lot of guts right there and there, just to really carry a lot of speed through. You can see I kind of messed up coming on to the front straight, so the blue line probably got a little bit loose, had to lift, and just lost a bunch on that section right there. What's that, 4/10 or so, 2/10. But all things considered, you know, the prep level of the car, what I'm allowed to do for Max 2 and like where I'm at, you know, there's plenty of room for improvement for sure. You know, tried a few things with the toe earlier, played with some pressures, the sway bars, trying to get this thing to turn on the front. This track has a lot of very slow turns where the car just like pushes, so got some work to do to kind of figure all that out. But I mean, for the main part, you know, pretty happy with how the whole weekend went. I'm pretty solidly in 4th out of, I think, what was it, 14? Out of 14. So a decent gap to 3rd, but I think 5th behind me, kind of a decent gap back to them. There is one more session this afternoon, but we're just gonna pack it up, start headed home. We got a long drive. As far as the event itself, a lot of fun running with the SCCA, very well put together. The cool thing about running with a new group, a bunch of people here with my parts on their cars, chatted with a bunch of people. So yeah, really good chatting with you. If you're one of the people I chatted with and you're watching this, thank you. I think that's about it. I will be doing an event at VIR, it's just a track day with Mustang Club. But yeah, I think next season, maybe turn this thing a little bit more into a decent contender for Max 2. I'll put a caveat there that trying to get a Mustang to compete with Corvettes and Supras, a little bit of an uphill battle, but you know, I'll give it my best. But I think that's about it. So as always, guys, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.